thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Sarah. So I'm creating this channel as kind of like a health, wellness, lifestyle vlog kind of thing, but kind of concentrating around like holistic wellness, because I have PCOS and endometriosis, and so it's kind of going to be about what I'm doing to work on healing myself naturally and what I've done in the past to heal myself. Start off, I'm gonna kind of go through the timeline of like my history with endometriosis and PCOS, just to kind of give you like a background on what I've experienced and what so far has been my story, and how that is kind of evolving into this. So I have notes right here of kind of like a timeline. So when I was like 14 is when I started having just like awful periods. I was really early having periods. I started my period in 5th grade, so I was like 10, but never regular. I've never in my life had a regular period, and just they were awful. And being a 14-year-old, no one really believed me. I had a lot of people be like, it can't be that bad. Even doctors, like my mom would say I was being dramatic, my doctor would say I was being dramatic, but right around 14, they still like, I kind of feel like they humored me. They put me on birth control and be like, well, this will help some of the symptoms. Kinda, like not really. The first birth control I was on was like, just like the pill, and then that didn't work. So they then ended up putting me on 2 pills and that didn't work. So then they ended up putting me on a different pill and that didn't work. And then right around when I was like 16, they started giving me the Depo-Provera shot, which is a progesterone shot that you get every 3 months. My senior year of high school, 17 or 18, my symptoms were getting a lot worse and a lot more severe. My pain was all the time. Like I missed school a lot because I was in pain, just really self-conscious. My self-confidence was down. I was gaining weight. Like I just wasn't happy, and on top of it, the birth control was making me crazy. Like I just couldn't control my emotions. I was so unhappy, and I shouldn't have been unhappy. I was just so unhappy and I couldn't control myself. I would exercise regularly and still gain weight, and so I'd be upset, and so it was just like a really not fun time. Yeah, so from like 16 to 20, so like 2 years after I graduated high school, I was still on the Depo shot, and still wasn't working. Symptoms were still getting worse. I was gaining tons of weight. So when I graduated high school, I weighed like 118 pounds, and I'm pretty short. I'm 5'4". So like 118 was about, like 118 to like 125 is like healthy fit for me. Like I'm really fit in that range. By 20, I weighed 150, and I exercised regularly, and I just, no matter what I did, I gained weight. I could go to the gym 5 times a week, gain weight. I could eat on like the cleanest diet, gain weight. And so I was just getting more and more frustrated and less confident. It just sucked, and I was hating my body. I was super frustrated with my body. I was super frustrated. I felt like it was my fault and that my body like kind of had betrayed me. Like no matter what I did, no matter how much I exercised or how healthy I ate, my body didn't care. So then when I turned 20, I met my current boyfriend. He was like the first boyfriend I'd had that was so supportive. He like went out of his way to like watch his own videos and like educate himself on like what was happening. That was like a huge helper to my mood, because I just felt less anxious because I had the support I was needing. So then around my 21st birthday, one night I just had like terrible pain in my side, like almost bad enough that I needed to go to the emergency room. But I'd been experiencing it for years, so I knew it had to do with, at that time I only thought I had endometriosis, and so I was like, it's the endometriosis. Like I'm not gonna go to the emergency room, they're just gonna tell me what I already know. Kind of when I was like, something's wrong, like I need to be taking this a little bit more seriously, like I need to go see a specialist. That's when I went to a specialist, and the specialist did a bunch of tests. He ran an MRI and blood work and ultrasounds, and like I had to fill out like a 20-page questionnaire and had like a 2-hour conversation with him about all of my symptoms. And I ended up being diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, with an overactive pelvic floor and suspect endometriosis. The only way to confirm a diagnosis of endometriosis is through surgery. And so I was like, okay, so what do? We know I have PCOS. We know I have a overactive pelvic floor and that I might have endometriosis. And what do? So he sent me to a physical therapist. He had me change my diet and he had me go off all hormones because his reasoning was, we don't know what the hormones are causing. Like, we don't actually know what the symptoms are because you haven't had a hormone-free body since you were 14, which for one isn't very healthy. And we don't know, are the hormones making you gain weight? Is the PCOS making you gain weight? Are the hormones causing the moody symptoms, or is PCOS and endometriosis causing it? And so it was really hard to tell what was causing everything. So he had me completely go off all hormonal birth control and treatment, and he sent me to a physical therapist and pretty much was like, check back in like 6 months when your body has fully cleared itself of the depo, because depo stays in your system for like a really long time. And I actually have to admit, it probably took like 12 to 18 months to feel like it was fully out of my system. And that's when like my period started being more regular, because depo in theory eliminates your period. It didn't for me, but in theory it's supposed to. So I made those changes. I went to a physical therapist, and the physical therapist, like, I totally cured myself of my overactive pelvic floor. And that was a huge change in pain, like instantly, because what was happening is I was getting these like excruciatingly bad cramps that I'd have to like medicate with painkillers because they just wouldn't go away. They were like relentless. And so physical therapy really helped that. And then I also, what did I do? I changed my diet and I saw a dietitian, and I completely eliminated soy. And eliminating soy actually was a huge change in my bloating. Not that I don't get bloated anymore. I still get really bloated. I remember one time my mom gave me edamame, and I didn't know there was soy in edamame. I had the edamame and I literally looked like I was 6 months pregnant for like a good 3 weeks, and I was in pain that whole time. So soy was a really big change for me. Once I got cleared and my symptoms were just 100% better, not that they're cured, they're not cured, I still have symptoms, but from being at a place that I'd skip out on activities because I was in so much pain, or I was so embarrassed or not self-confident enough, to where I am now has been a huge change. Now I'm kind of reevaluating. It's been about, I'm about to turn 23 and that was at 21, so it's been about 2 years of those changes and kind of learning to listen to my body a little bit more. I've gotten to a place, a really awesome place, where like I'm not, like I had said earlier, like I just hated my body. I was so mad at my body and I felt really betrayed by it. And I've gotten to a point that I love my body, and I've really learned to listen to what it needs, like to listen to like if it needs more of certain foods, or if it needs more exercise, or like if it needs more rest, or like what does it need. And I've gotten a lot better at listening to that and like nurturing what it needs instead of getting mad at it. And that actually goes to like one of my mantras, which change happens and growth is optional. And so I've just switched to a growth mindset, because I kind of just faced it as like, this change happened. Like my body is not going to be the same as it was before symptoms ever. Like it always will be this way. And so I've just got to embrace it and grow to the best of my ability and love my body how it is. Just changing that mindset has been huge for my self-esteem, and for every little change that I try to implement. That was a long story. That was a long history. I know. But this channel is because I kind of, with how big of a grow I had in so painful to much better, I kind of just got like complacent. Like I was like, oh, like the symptoms that like are still here, like they're fine, like they're never gonna go away. They just annoy me, but I have to deal with it. And recently I just was like, no, I don't need to just live with these. Like there's a way to like help my body help itself. So this is kind of going to be me experimenting with like getting rid of some of the last symptoms I have, which would be my body still holds on to weight, which is the PCOS mostly. It holds on to weight like a monster. Like, I can't, it's so hard to lose 1 pound and it's so easy to gain like 10. This is gonna kind of be me like trying out different fitness things and seeing like what my body reacts to and what it doesn't. Trying out different diets. I'm about to start like a paleo based diet, not a paleo diet quite, because I don't do well on low carbs. I know I needed a little bit more carbs than paleo provides. Paleo based diet, like kind of cutting out like some of the useless carbs like white rice and stuff like that. Also just some other habits and products that I really enjoy to use. Yeah, so that's kind of what my channel is gonna be. And that's kind of the background of like how I got where I am and why I'm doing this. I would love to see like 6 months from now, like not being 3 months pregnant looking by the end of every single day, because at the end of every single day, and I'll document it, I'll take a video like from morning to night, I look huge. It's gross. Luckily it's not painful anymore, but it's just annoying. The different changes I'm making, my skin has gotten a lot better, but I still have like a couple like really annoying areas, especially like around my mouth, which I'm hoping to like help heal. I'm also changing a lot of products to more natural based products. Your skin is your biggest organ and everything you put on your skin is absorbed. Chemicals in the products that you use, especially like chemicals that you're supposed to stay away from with the conditions I have, they're being soaked in through your skin and you're still exposing your body to those chemicals. So I'm gonna see if that helps any of the symptoms. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this because it's been really long and I kind of go off on little tangents and I forget what yeah, like I'll get better at that as I get used to talking into a lid. If you liked this video, please give it a like so I know. I'm gonna try to post videos like once a week. They're not all gonna be like sit down chat videos. Some of them are gonna be like me doing things, me doing different exercises or different diet things, reviewing products that I'm using, going over like what I do for my skin, what I do for bloating, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna try to upload a video like once a week. So yeah, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see it every week, and thanks in advance for your support. Hope this helps some of you. Thanks.